Hey, everyone, and welcome back to English Listening and Speaking YouTube channel Job Interviews. Do you worry that your English isn't quite hitting the mark to truly impress potential employers? Well, you're in the right place. B2 English Idioms. Ace your job interview. Host. Today, we're diving deep into a game-changing skill, mastering English idioms for job interviews. Did you know that using the right English idiom at the right time can make you sound more like a native speaker, boost your confidence, and help you stand out from the competition? It's true. It shows a deeper understanding of the language and culture. This isn't just about memorizing phrases. It's about understanding their meaning, their nuance, and exactly how and when to use them to sound fluent, professional, and incredibly competent. In this video, we're going to explore over 20 essential idioms, neatly categorized into common interview scenarios. We'll cover everything from those first crucial moments of breaking the ice to confidently selling yourself and your skills, and even knowing what to say when you're asking questions or wrapping things up. By the end of this video, you'll have a powerful toolkit of phrases that will help you navigate your next job interview with much greater ease and confidence. Ready to transform your interview game? Let's get started. So, why are idioms so important in a job interview setting, especially for B2 English learners? Fluency and naturalness. Using idioms correctly makes your English sound more natural and less like you're reciting from a textbook. It shows you're comfortable with conversational English. Cultural understanding. Idioms are deeply embedded in culture. Using them shows you understand these nuances, which can be impressive to native-speaking interviewers. Confidence boost. When you know you have these phrases ready, you'll feel more confident. And confidence is key in any interview. Making an impression. The right idiom can make a point more memorably or concisely than plain language. It can make you stand out. Understanding the interviewer. Sometimes, interviewers use idioms too. Knowing them helps you fully understand their questions or comments. Our journey today will take us through various stages of the interview. We'll look at breaking the ice. Starting off strong, tell me about yourself. Sharing your story effectively, skills and experience, demonstrating your expertise, questions for the interviewer, showing your genuine interest, and finally, wrap up, leaving a lasting, positive impression. For each idiom, I'll explain what it means, why it's useful in an interview, and give you an example of how you might use it. Sound good? Awesome. Section 2. Breaking the ice. Starting off strong. Alright. Let's talk about those crucial first few minutes of an interview. This is where you set the tone. It's all about making a great first impression. Our first idiom for this section is a fantastic one to convey your enthusiasm and readiness. Idiom number 1, hit the ground running. To hit the ground running means to start a new job or task with full speed and effectiveness right from the beginning, without needing a lot of training or adjustment time. It shows you're proactive, capable, and ready to contribute immediately. Why it's useful. Interviewers love to hear that a candidate can be productive quickly. It saves them time and resources. Example scenario. Interviewer. This role requires someone who can quickly adapt to our fast-paced environment. How do you typically approach new challenges? That sounds perfect for me. I'm a fast learner. And I'm always eager to hit the ground running. In my previous role, I was able to onboard and start contributing to key projects within my first 2 weeks. See how that immediately paints a picture of a proactive and efficient employee? It's much more impactful than just saying, I learn quickly. Idiom number 2, put your best foot forward. To put your best foot forward means to try your best to make a good impression. It's about presenting yourself in the most positive light, showcasing your strengths, and being professional. Why it's useful. This phrase itself can show your intention to be a great candidate and future employee. It signals self-awareness and a commitment to doing well. Example scenario, interviewer, perhaps making small talk at the beginning. Thanks for coming in today. You, thank you for having me. I'm really excited about this opportunity and ready to put my best foot forward and show you how my skills align with this role. It's a polite and confident way to start, indicating you're taking the interview seriously. You can also use it to describe past actions, for instance, when talking about how you approached an important project. For the new product launch, I knew it was crucial to put our best foot forward with the marketing campaign. Idiom number 3, get the ball rolling. To get the ball rolling means to initiate something, to start an activity or a discussion. It's often used for starting meetings, projects, or even a conversation. Why it's useful. In an interview, it can show initiative. If there's a slight pause, or if you're transitioning from small talk to the main interview, you could subtly use it, or recognize it if the interviewer uses it. Example scenario, interviewer. Well, we've had a nice chat about the weather. Shall we dive into your experience? You, absolutely, I'm ready when you are. Happy to get the ball rolling by telling you more about my background if you'd like. Or, the interviewer might say, okay, let's get the ball rolling. Can you tell me about yourself? This phrase helps ensure a smooth transition into the more formal part of the interview. It shows you're engaged and ready to participate. Pro tip 4, breaking the ice, confidence is key here. A firm handshake, if in person, good eye contact, and a genuine smile, combined with these idioms, can really help you start strong. Remember, the goal is to appear approachable, enthusiastic, and professional. Section 3, tell me about yourself. Sharing your story now, for that almost inevitable question, tell me about yourself. This is your prime opportunity to present a concise and compelling narrative. Idioms can help make your story more engaging. Idiom number 4, think outside the box. To think outside the box means to approach problems or situations with creative and original ideas, not limited by traditional or conventional ways of thinking. Why? It's useful. Employers highly value creativity and problem-solving skills. Mentioning this shows you're not just a rule follower but an innovator. Example scenario, interviewer. Tell me about yourself and what makes you a good fit for our innovative team. You, well, I've always been someone who enjoys a challenge, and I pride myself on my ability to think outside the box. For example, in my last role, we were facing declining engagement on our social media. Instead of just increasing post frequency, I proposed a user-generated content campaign, which significantly boosted interaction. I believe this kind of creative problem-solving would be a real asset here. This phrase, backed by a concrete example, is incredibly powerful. It demonstrates a desirable skill rather than just claiming it. Idiom number 5, a jack of all trades. A jack of all trades refers to someone who can do many different types of work competently. The full idiom is a jack of all trades, master of none, which can sometimes imply a lack of deep expertise. However, in modern contexts, especially for roles requiring versatility, it can be a positive. Why it's useful. If the role requires adaptability and a range of skills, this can be a good way to describe yourself. Be cautious and use it if it truly fits, and if the job description suggests versatility is valued. Example scenario, interviewer. This role involves wearing many hats, from project management to client communication and even some data analysis. How comfortable are you with that? I thrive in dynamic environments like that. Over my career, I've developed a broad skill set, and I'm often described as a jack of all trades in the best sense. I'm adaptable and can comfortably switch between different tasks and responsibilities. For instance, I've managed projects from conception to completion, which involved everything from stakeholder engagement to budget tracking and final reporting. When you use this, ensure you emphasize the competently apart and provide examples to show you're not just dabbling but genuinely skilled in multiple areas. You want to highlight versatility as a strength. Idiom number 6, a team player. A team player is someone who collaborates effectively with others, prioritizes the team's success, and contributes positively to a group environment. Why it's useful: almost every job requires some level of teamwork. Stating you're a team player is crucial, and backing it up makes it even stronger. Example scenario, interviewer. Can you describe your work style? I'm definitely a team player. I believe the best results come from collaboration and leveraging everyone's strengths. In my previous project, we had a tight deadline, and I made sure to actively support my colleagues, share information openly, and help resolve conflicts so we could all meet our collective goal successfully. I find that when the team succeeds, I succeed. This idiom is straightforward but very important. Always be ready to give an example of your teamwork skills. Pro tip 4. Tell me about yourself. Structure your answer. A good approach is present, past, future. Briefly talk about your current situation, or most recent, then a little about your relevant past experience, using an idiom like think outside the box, with an example, and then how this role is the perfect next step for your future. Section 4, Skills and Experience. Demonstrating your expertise. This is where you really need to shine and provide concrete evidence of your abilities. Idioms can add color and emphasis to your accomplishments. Idiom number 7, go the extra mile. Host. To go the extra mile means to make a special effort to achieve something or to exceed expectations. It shows dedication, strong work ethic, and commitment. Why it's useful: employers want employees who are willing to put in that extra effort when needed, especially for important projects or to satisfy clients. Example scenario, interviewer. Can you give me an example of a time you showed commitment to a project? Certainly. In my role at previous company, we had a key client with a very urgent request that fell outside normal business hours. I believe in going the extra mile for client satisfaction, so I stayed late to ensure their issue was resolved promptly. The client was extremely appreciative, and it helped strengthen our relationship with them. This demonstrates initiative and a client-focused attitude, which are highly valued. Idiom number 8, hit the nail on the head. To hit the nail on the head means to say or do something that is exactly right or to identify the core of an issue perfectly. Why it's useful: this can be used to describe your accurate assessment of a situation or a successful solution you implemented. It shows insight and precision. Example scenario, interviewer. How did you approach solving a complex problem in your last role? We were struggling with low user adoption for a new software feature. After analyzing user feedback and session data, I identified that the onboarding process was too complicated. My manager said I hit the nail on the head with my assessment. We then simplified the tutorial, and adoption rates increased by 40%. Using it this way, especially when quoting a manager, adds credibility to your problem-solving skills and accuracy. Idiom number 9, learn the ropes. To learn the ropes means to learn how to do a particular job or task, to understand the procedures and particulars of a new environment. Why it's useful. It shows you're aware that there will be a learning curve in a new role, but you're willing and able to get up to speed. It conveys humility and a proactive approach to learning. Example scenario: interviewer. This role has some specific processes you might not be familiar with. How do you approach learning new systems? I'm a quick learner and very eager to learn the ropes here. In my previous positions, I've always made it a priority to understand new systems and processes thoroughly in the initial weeks. I typically do this by asking relevant questions, studying documentation, and seeking feedback from experienced colleagues. This phrase shows you're realistic about joining a new company and proactive about your own onboarding. Bonus idiom 4. This section, idiom number 10, wear many hats. Idiom number 10, wear many hats, meaning to have many different roles or responsibilities. To wear many hats means you are capable of handling diverse tasks and responsibilities, often simultaneously. This is especially useful for startups or smaller companies where roles can be less rigidly defined. Why it's useful. It highlights your versatility, adaptability, and ability to multitask effectively. Example scenario: interviewer. Our team is quite lean, so team members often need to step outside their primary job descriptions. I'm very comfortable with that. In my last role at a startup, I had to wear many hats, from managing social media to assisting with customer support and even event planning. I enjoy the variety and the opportunity to develop a broad range of skills. This clearly communicates that you're flexible and not afraid of a dynamic work environment. Pro tip 4: the skills and experience. Use the STAR method: situation, task, action, result, when describing your experiences. Weaving an idiom into your action or a result can make your answer more memorable and impactful. For example, the situation was X. My task was Y. I decided to go the extra mile by doing Z, action, and the result was A, result. Section 5, questions for the interviewer. Showing your interest. Towards the end of the interview, you'll almost always be asked, "Do you have any questions for us?" This is not a formality. It's a chance to show your engagement and genuine interest. Idiom number 11, think on your feet, meaning to think and react quickly, especially in a difficult or unexpected situation. To think on your feet means to be able to make good decisions and react quickly and intelligently, often under pressure or when faced with something unexpected. Why it's useful. While you should prepare questions beforehand, sometimes the interviewer's answers might spark new, relevant questions. Being able to formulate these demonstrates quick thinking. You can also use this idiom to describe a skill you possess. Example scenario: interviewer. So, that covers the main aspects of the role. Do you have any questions for me? Yes, thank you. You mentioned the upcoming project name. Based on what you've shared about its strategic importance, could you elaborate on how this role will directly contribute to its success in the first 6 months? I enjoy environments where I can think on my feet and adapt to evolving project needs. And I'm curious how that applies here. Here, you're subtly linking your ability to think on your feet with your desire to understand the role's impact, making your question more insightful. Idiom number 12, get to the bottom of things, meaning to discover the real truth or cause of a problem or situation. To get to the bottom of things means to investigate thoroughly to find the fundamental cause or truth about something, why it's useful. Asking questions that show you want a deeper understanding indicates you're analytical and genuinely interested in the company and the role beyond surface-level details. Example scenario: I'm really interested in the company culture here. I read on your website about your commitment to innovation. Could you share an example of how the team I'd be joining fosters that innovative spirit in its day-to-day operations? I like to understand the practical application of company values and really get to the bottom of things when it comes to team dynamics. This shows you're not just accepting buzzwords but want to understand the reality. Point 13. Pick someone's brain, meaning to ask someone who knows a lot about a subject for their thoughts or opinions. To pick someone's brain means to ask for information or advice from someone who is knowledgeable about a particular subject. It's a more informal way to say you want to learn from them, why it's useful. It shows enthusiasm for learning and respect for the interviewer's expertise. It can create a good rapport. Example scenario: this has been incredibly insightful. If I were to join the team, I'd be really keen to pick your brain further about a specific area the interviewer is an expert in, or a company initiative they mentioned. I'm always eager to learn from experienced professionals. Or, if asking about team members, you mentioned the team lead has extensive experience in X. I'd look forward to the opportunity to pick their brain and learn from their expertise. Asterisk: this phrase shows humility and a proactive desire to learn and grow within the company. Bonus idiom for this section: 14. On the same page, meaning to have a shared understanding or agreement about something. To be on the same page means that everyone involved has the same understanding or agrees on a particular matter. Why it's useful: you can use this to confirm your understanding of something the interviewer has said, showing active listening and a desire for clarity. Example scenario: thank you for clarifying the performance expectations for the first year. So, if I understand correctly, the key priorities would be A, B, and C. Just want to make sure we're on the same page. Interviewer: yes, that's a perfect summary. This ensures clarity and shows you're paying close attention. **** Pro tip for asking questions: always prepare at least 3 to 4 thoughtful questions. Focus on the role, the team, the company culture, and opportunities for growth. Avoid asking about salary or benefits unless the interviewer brings it up first. Section 6. Wrap up. Leaving a lasting impression: the interview is drawing to a close. How you handle these final moments can solidify the positive impression you've made. Idiom number 15. Follow up, meaning to take further action related to something that has already been discussed or started. To follow up means to continue communication after an initial contact or to take further action on something previously discussed. In an interview context, it often refers to sending a thank you note or inquiring about the status of your application, why it's useful. Explicitly mentioning you will follow up shows professionalism and continued interest. Example scenario: interviewer: well, that's all the questions I have. We'll be in touch regarding the next steps. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing such detailed information about the role and company. I'm very enthusiastic about this opportunity. I will follow up with a thank you email shortly. When can I expect to hear about the next steps? This is polite, proactive, and sets expectations. Point 16. Stay in touch/keep in touch, meaning to maintain contact with someone. To stay in touch or keep in touch means to continue to communicate with someone, even if not frequently. Why it's useful. It expresses a desire to maintain a connection, which can be good for networking, even if this particular role doesn't work out. It's a softer way to show ongoing interest. Example scenario: you, at the very end, after discussing follow-up. It was a pleasure meeting you and learning more about company name. Regardless of the outcome, I'd appreciate the opportunity to stay in touch professionally. Perhaps suggest connecting on LinkedIn. This is a good general networking phrase and shows long-term professional thinking. Point 17. Keep me posted / keep me in the loop, meaning to keep someone informed of the latest developments or news. Keep me posted or keep me in the loop is a request to be updated on progress or new information about a situation, in this case, the hiring process. Why it's useful. It shows your continued interest and eagerness to know the outcome. It's a polite way to ask for updates. Example scenario: you, as part of the closing. I'm very excited about the possibility of joining your team. Please do keep me posted on the progress of the selection process. I look forward to hearing from you. This phrase is a clear but polite way to reiterate your interest and request information about the timeline. Pro tip for wrapping up: reiterate your strong interest in the role one last time. A confident closing can leave a very positive final impression. And always send a personalized thank you email within 24 hours of the interview. In that email, you can even reference a specific point you discussed to show you were listening. We've covered a lot, but I want to give you a few more powerhouse idioms and some general tips for using them effectively. Point 18. Get a foot in the door, meaning to take the first step towards a goal by gaining an initial opportunity, often in a company or industry. To get a foot in the door means to gain an initial, often entry-level, opportunity within a company or industry, with the hope that it will lead to better opportunities later. Why it's useful. If you're applying for an entry-level role or changing careers, this can show your strategic thinking and long-term commitment. Example: while this role is an entry-level position, I see it as a fantastic way to get my foot in the door at a company I admire, and I'm eager to learn and grow from there. 19. Cut to the chase, meaning to get directly to the main point without wasting time on less important details. 2. Cut to the chase means to get to the most important part of something quickly. Why it's useful. While you generally want to be thorough, if an interviewer seems pressed for time or asks for a very direct answer, knowing this phrase, or even using it yourself carefully, e.g., to cut to the chase, my main strength is, can be helpful. Usually, it's something an interviewer might say: let's cut to the chase, what are your salary expectations? Though hopefully, you defer that conversation. 20. Raise the bar, meaning to set a higher standard of quality or performance. To raise the bar means to improve standards or expectations. Why it's useful. You can use this to describe how you've improved things in past roles or how you aim to contribute to the new company. Example: in my previous team, I implemented a new quality control process that helped raise the bar for our project deliverables, resulting in higher client satisfaction. Number 21. On the ball, meaning to be alert, knowledgeable, and quick to react to things. To be on the ball means you're competent, efficient, and know what you're doing. Why it's useful. It's a great way to describe yourself or someone you admire, highlighting efficiency and awareness. Example: my previous manager often said I was on the ball because I could anticipate project needs and address potential issues proactively. General tips for using idioms in interviews: don't overuse them. Sprinkling in a few well-placed idioms is great. Using one in every sentence will sound unnatural and forced. Aim for quality over quantity. Understand the meaning deeply. Make sure you know exactly what the idiom means and the context in which it's appropriate. Using an idiom incorrectly can be worse than not using one at all. A context is key. Choose idioms that genuinely fit the conversation and the point you're trying to make. Pronunciation and intonation. Practice saying them aloud so they sound natural. Listen to native speakers. Use them and listen for them. Pay attention if your interviewer uses idioms. It can give you a cue about their communication style and your own comfort level in using them. To be authentic. If an idiom feels really unnatural for you to say, don't force it. Your confidence and clarity are most important. Wow, that was a deep dive. We've covered over 20 incredibly useful English idioms that can truly help you ace your next job interview. From hitting the ground running at the start to thinking outside the box when sharing your story, going the extra mile to showcase your skills, and knowing how to follow up professionally, you're now equipped with some powerful linguistic tools. Remember, the goal is to enhance your natural communication, not to sound like an idiom robot. Practice these phrases, understand their context, and start incorporating them where they feel appropriate. This will significantly boost your fluency and confidence, helping you to make that stellar impression. Job interviews can be nerve-wracking, but with preparation, including mastering these kinds of phrases, you can walk in feeling much more prepared and ready to shine. You're not just learning English, you're learning how to use it strategically to achieve your career goals. What's your favorite interview idiom, or is there one you've found particularly useful? Share it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to your channel name and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more content designed to help you master English and succeed in your professional life. Thanks so much for watching. Practice these idioms, believe in yourself, and go ace that next interview. I'll see you in the next video.